Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and you're here with another speed art, sort of an original art that I have made called the Monochrome Princess and the Gentle Wolfman. So this drawing was basically, I did it so that I can test my new watercolor box, which is the Sakura sketch field of 30 colors, and I did a full review about it that I am going to leave the link in the information box in case you want to check that out. And as far as for this drawing, the brushes I'm using first are the Van Gogh brushes, in which I almost have all of the small and medium brushes. I don't have the large ones. Maybe I have a medium large 2 brushes or so because I don't do a lot of big washes. Anyways, so the concept behind of this lovely drawing is that I was in a workshop. It was an animation workshop, or how to make a storyboard for a simple animation, and it was directly or aimed at people who did comics or animation or whatsoever. So one of the people have asked us on to make sort of a character design for a playful wolf who wants to play with a kid that is playing in the woods. They did not specify playing or whatever. They just wanted to have a playful wolf that was playing with the kid or helping him or anything, and they did not specify whether it's a boy or a girl. They really left us to sort of imagine and let our creative side take over and see what we will think of. So what I did when I was sketching this, because I sketched the concept in my sketchbook before actually sketching it here, was the idea that I first wanted a dancing wolf, a humanoid dancing wolf. And it was also my first time ever doing a humanoid wolf character. I actually did some studies on the face of the wolf, and then I tried to sort of see how it works in perspective, because it's kind of really weird. And anyways, the pose that I created, it was supposed to be sort of a fun dance pose, but all of a sudden, I don't know how, it ended up being a very gentleman pose. So from that concept, it actually gave me a very creative idea. Why don't I put a little girl, and since girls, you know, when fathers treat their little girls, they usually treat them like their princess. So I wanted to give that sort of feel that every little girl, like me, when we were kids, we always wanted to be treated as a princess. So I have this wolf. He's wearing a gentleman's hat, and I tried to make him as gentle as possible, sort of in my own imaginary way. And I wanted him to treat this little girl as a princess. But I also wanted this setting to be as fantasy as possible. So I was actually trying all kind of fun ideas, such as floating fountains, as you can see here, and really weird designs of trees, like this round blue tree that you're seeing. And I only just had one normal tree, the one that I'm coloring at the moment, which the balloon is stuck. You see the balloon here? The girl was playing with got stuck in this tree. So the gentle wolf, or the gentleman wolf, is trying to help the girl, or offering her a hand in which he will get her balloon back. The girl is about 10, maybe 11 years old, and that was kind of the idea, because most of you probably don't even notice the balloon that's stuck in the tree. I wanted to try and have a very creative fantasy setting, as in woods, because this is kind of a story for kids. So because I had this in mind, there has to be a lot of colors, not just on the characters themselves, but also on the backgrounds and almost everything in this drawing. So it did take a while until I got the drawings and the coloring done. I think that the coloring took about 8 hours to finish, because it's really colorful. Once you'll see it done, you'll see how colorful it is. So I tried to do like these floating branches and some flying fountains and some glowing rocks. And I always like to play with fantasy, but this is probably the first time ever I did something this heavily fantasy influenced and colors. So it was kind of a little bit well, I did not know how it would have ended, but overall I think it's a really good result. So right now I was trying to color the branches, and I think I'm doing the violet tree. Yeah, that was colored with the Sakura coin, and in my review I explained that the Sakura koi reaction to water was very, very strange, so it did kind of kill the image in some parts, including some parts in which I was trying to create gradient effect with by using a technique called wet on wet, in which you put the color and it have not dried yet, and then you put other colors over it, and then the paint is supposed to react a certain way that sort of give a very, well, colors just come in together and give that sort of gradient effect. But because of the weird pigmentation thing in the Sakura koi, it did not go really that well. It did leave a very nice effect on the tree though, because it has this weird charcoal feel. So it worked nicely with the tree. It had like one color. So probably I'm not gonna use it anymore and trying to create more gradient colors because it just ruined the background. And okay, let's talk about the characters, because I think I'm starting to color them, or maybe no, I'm still in the backgrounds. Well, you can see there's some crystals, shiny crystals, and now I'm moving on to the characters, or not. Come on, me. Move on to the characters. Come on, let's talk about the characters. Why did I leave the characters to the end? I don't know. Ah, finally. So here is why she is called the Monochrome Princess. Because she is in black and white. This girl is in black and white. And everything around her is in colors. I don't know why I wanted to create this concept in which the main girl is in black and white and everything around her is colorful. I guess maybe it's sort of like a metaphor for maybe she is scared to release her potential or anything or so. I'm not sure really. It was just a concept, and I think that it was really interesting. And as you can see, the wolf character is in green. And because of the pigmentation issues with the Sakura koi set, I actually had to go over it with water pencil colors to fix some of the parts in which the ink have concentrated. The ink would concentrate at one point and I would try to move it, it will not move. So I had to wait until the drawing was completely dried, and I had to go over it again with some water pencil colors to fix the issues in which the colors were unbalanced and darken the areas that I was not able to darken, because the Sakura koi is opaque and they don't have a lot of that transparency in it, so that was a big problem. And I think I'm doing a little bit more extra, just adding some texture with the pencil colors over this point. And yeah, the rock. I actually had a lot of hard time actually coloring in the rock to make it look as shiny as it looks in the last piece. And I actually had to go over it times and times and times until I got it right. And right now I think I'm fixing the gradient background thing. Yeah, I zoomed in because I'm using the well, with my messy desk, this is so messy, man. I'm using something called a Dooku pen. Well, I was trying to add some highlights, but we don't have here any gel pens. So what happened is that this pen will give you just a little bit of a lighter layer. So it will create this sort of shiny edge at the end of the the rock because it has a bit of transparency in it. It just lights up the area a little bit. But as I explained in my review video on how weird the pigments or the color paint would drink the liquid or drink the water, it happened that it would drink the Juku pen's liquid somehow, and thus I would not get those extra lines in which that give me that little shininess. So I actually had to go over it a lot of time because the paint would just drink all of the whatever liquid it can get on, I guess. And finally, because of the paint being so opaque, I had to go over it with some inking. I guess I was inking it or re-inking it. And as you can see, this is the final image in which I did some minor details with the Photoshop. I was just adjusting the lighting and some things so that it would look somewhat appealing to the eyes and colorful. And that is it, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed this speed art. And if you want to see the Sakura Koi review thing, you have it in the end slate or in the information box. So feel free to check that out, and I will end this video here. So see you in another video. Bye bye.